watched this movie like many years ago because Doris Day. And we love a good Doris Day happy movie with songs and dancing and all that. And so I watched this, but I was quite young at the time. And I was going, this is not happy Doris Day movie. Eep. This is not a happy Doris Day movie. This is a biopic of a singer called Ruth Etting, who was still around when they made this biopic. So it's kind of interesting. Almost everybody in this was still around in 1955. The events are from the 1920s and 30s, so not that long ago altogether. I think the base excuse for this movie is that they had these wonderful songs by Ruth Etting, or not by her, but the ones she made them famous. And they wanted to revisit them, which is fair. So it is kind of a vessel for Doris Day to sing these songs again. That said, I think Doris Day took a lot of time to rehearse them. Basically, I think this is the best I've ever heard her sing. So I've heard her sing in something else that was absolutely under-rehearsed, and she's not under-rehearsed here. She's real good. She's taking this very seriously. They are taking the entire thing pretty seriously. They have a narrative. There is a story in real life. For reasons of censorship, they toned it down a little bit. But they still did the main points of it. They gave the story a little bit of a twist themselves to make a beginning, a middle, and an end, which is fine. Life doesn't have a beginning, a middle, and an end. Not like that. I mean, you get born, you live, and then you die. That's your beginning, middle, and end. It's for a film narrative, not the best. But so they did that, but give it a little bit more of a twist for a personal journey. What upsetted me most way back then was James Cagney. He is really good in this. The problem is, this part, he is nasty guy, and that part of it is not comfortable to watch. Basically, the story is of two people who are wrong for each other, and his mistake is his enormous ego that demands her love, and she doesn't have it for him. And I think her mistake is maybe leading him on a little bit too long. I don't think it was deliberate, or the film puts it down as it kind of happened that way, which I think is probably fair, because that is sometimes how that sort of thing happens. She is not in love with him, and therefore when there is a somebody she might fall in love with, there is a somebody. And that's where and the gunshot happens. The gunshot is real. It happened. Nobody died, which is a good thing. But somebody spent a year in jail. Yeah. In real life, this really happened. But it happened in the 30s when a lot of weird stuff happened. Interesting thing I thought about some of the presentation is that this character, Marty Snyder, in the movie is presented as a laundry magnet, a little laundry magnet of New York. He's very New Yorkan, and he has a bit of a limp. James Cagney picked up that's historical. The guy had a limp, so James Cagney picked up on that and did it properly, make it this tiny man with his limp. And Cagney is also a little on the older side at this point, and also aware of that, making use of that to show him as this square, not really desirable guy, basically, who's lusting after a young lady. Marty in real life was actually, if you go look at the Wikipedia page, the first thing it says is he's a gangster. He's straight up a gangster. The movie doesn't say that. He's acting like a gangster. He's pushing people around left, right, and center. That's hence the gun and the gunshot. And yes, he's the one who shot. But they toned that down to make it somewhat, because it's already uncomfortable to watch. The way he is pursuing her and not letting her, the moment she actually gives in to him a little bit, he grabs onto her, and it's upsetting. Basically, he's abusive. And the movie doesn't want to say those words because it's 1955, it's too early for that. But yeah, they're showing an abusive situation. And they are sugarcoating it a little bit, but not that much. Which I think is really good, but it's not comfortable to watch. And that's, my younger self was not very happy about it. Expecting a fun musical. Production is really good. It's 1955. They know how to make everything right now. And this is just after Singing in the Rain. You very clearly see that, I think a critique of before Singing in the Rain was that, when they were doing the 20s, they were doing sort of, not anything that actually looked like the 20s. And then after Singing in the Rain, the 20s looked maybe still not exactly like the 20s, but it was like the 20s with a 50s silhouette. So you have the dripping fringe, and you have the headbands, but you still have like the bullet bra and the pencil skirt silhouette. I think it's better than before, because there's another movie called The Roaring Twenties, which I think is 1939, also with James Cagney, and it's about the Roaring Twenties. There is zero flapper fashion in that. Zero. Which is weird. So this is better. It's still not actually good, but it's better. The ladies have short hair, they have or an updo, and they have the fringe where they should have it, and they have that sort of thing. So they have a hint of the 20s, recognizable hint of the 20s. Not. And then when it slowly progresses to the 30s, you get the more longer skirts, and you get slightly different, a little bit different, but enough to show, hey, the 20s are now, they have gone away. It's not about the 20s or the 30s. Maybe about the madness of the time, but not really. It is the story of Ruth and Marty and their world. Both Doris Day and James Cagney are really, really good actors. That said, it always helps to have a really good director, which I think Charles Vidor is a very good director. So. Or you need a director that leaves you to do what you need to do, which I think for Cagney is absolutely, definitely. He's the sort of person that says, I need to have a limp here. And then the director can talk until he's blue in the face, and he's going to have that limp. And I think that works for Cagney. Doris Day is a very good actress, but very low-key, in a good way, low-key. And to get her to so she does like this low energy thing, and then she can build it up to something high, very often into a song, because that she is basically a singer, and so she can do that but she build up, she can also do in a scene, and with Cagney as a co-star, you can do a lot because he's really good, and so they can play off each other. That really works really very well. So I think, as uncomfortable it was to watch Cagney, I hope he got some sort of recognition for it, because it was one of the best things I've seen him do. I've seen him. Cagney had a really strange career, because he was on the stage before the sound pictures happened, but then the sound pictures happened, and they needed stuff in Hollywood now. So they got a bunch of buses, and he was like on some of these first buses he was on. And then what are you going to do there? How much song and dance stuff do we have? You have to actually write a song. Okay, the scene is easier. And he ended up being in many gangster things. So he was in the 20s and early 30s, he was the gangster guy. And then he sort of graduated out of that a little bit and did a bunch of good musicals. And now he's back to, as an older guy, the gangster guy again. So to him, this must look very familiar. And he still does it originally and with energy. And he doesn't feel, I don't think he feels like he's typecast. Maybe a little bit, but that is part of what he does, is being typecast. So, yes, in a way, he's typecast, but for something that he was known for many, many, many years ago. And he's playing in a time that he was actually young in. Because the 20s and the 30s, he was a young adult. So he knows all this time. So I don't know how he felt about it. And I think he's doing good with it. He's taking it all on and putting it somewhere. There's a lot of songs in this, but this is not a musical. I'm not going to say it's a musical, because literally every number is a production number. They are either rehearsing something with an audience or with themselves. Actually, I don't think they don't even do it one time with themselves. They are only rehearsing with an audience, or they're actually performing, or they're recording on a soundstage for something with a complete orchestra. There is no like privately singing to each other in a bedroom or anything like that. Not even a performance. Nothing like that. They make good use of that because she performs like a lot. Because Ruth Etting was a singer who actually ended up in a couple of movies as an okay actress. The stuff is on YouTube if you want to see it, some of it. Her songs are definitely on YouTube. She became most famous for the singing. So doing a set of a bunch of songs in an evening, that would be a performance. She would be doing that every night, basically all her life. And so there's a lot of stuff you can choose from to put in a dramatic presentation. Then the story is, which is kind of what happened, is that she took up with this Marty, with Snyder, and he became her agent and he managed her, but he was too overbearing, and that's where it broke down. They show some really good points in the movie when Marty in the movie takes up with her. He's seeing a pretty girl. He wants the pretty girl. The pretty girl says, "I want to sing." Marty says, "Sure," and he plonks her somewhere. It's a dancing gig, but he don't care. And it takes, actually, I timed it. It takes nearly 20 minutes into the movie before she actually sings. The first time. And Marty isn't there to hear it. Somebody, the piano guy is the one that she does fall in love with. He hears it. And she can sing. Nobody knew that she could sing, which is what actually kind of happened in shorthand in real life. Ruth Etting was must have been pretty affluent. She was sent to a good school, but for art, for drawing art. And she was okay with that, but then she got a chance to sing somewhere, and that is way much nicer. And so she rolled into that without any formal training. I think she probably took some training after, but not when she started. Because that's better for your voice to take some training. But so kind of what happened in real life is mimicked into the movie, but in a different way. Once the piano man, Marty, is paying for these lessons that he doesn't even hear any result of until there is actually a performance many, many moons later. And then you see Marty's face. more so that he sees people react, because he actually bribed the entire place to come to watch his floozy. And because he has no idea. But turns out Floozy can actually sing. She's actually good. But I think Marty has no feel for it. He can only realize that she is good from the reaction he says sees in other people, which is very interesting, very upsetting for the dynamic. Because I think these two are just incompatible, and you should not start and call it quits. So, you know, yeah, I think this film is about the ego of Marty versus the not savviness of Ruth. Comes to an explosive gun bang. Great. Is it history? Maybe not. But I think this is a better version of what the history was than Funny Girl. They made a lot more liberties with the story of Fanny Bryce than they did with Ruth Etting. Basically, all the elements that are on the Wikipedia are in this movie. And like I said, they toned one thing down. Once Marty has actually married her, but he was so annoying that she asked for a divorce. He was so abusive, she wanted a divorce. And they do get a divorce, and then the piano player is back. And then in reality, Marty got his gangster on and just went out and kidnapped piano player at gunpoint, made him go to her house. And at the time also was there his daughter from a previous marriage who had stayed with her after the divorce. Yeah, there you go. She got the other child in the divorce, even though she's not related to them, because she was already grown up and assisting, so she had a job there, but she stayed there. So she was in the house, and Marty started threatening everyone, saying, "I'm going to kill every single one of you, all three of them." And he took a shot at Piano Man, and then in a scuffle, the daughter got the gun and took a shot at father, deliberately missed, and that calmed the thing down. That's what happened in real life. Here, Marty is already they're all in the middle of the divorce. It's nearly finished, and Marty has his gangster on and just runs after the piano man, and the piano man actually goes to her house. So there's more, not exactly guilt, because piano man was perfectly free to go to her house anytime. She was a free lady, so why not? Piano man is hurt, but recovers, and Marty goes to jail for about a year. He's in pre-arrest, and then the whole thing is played out. I think once the headlines of Ruth Etting's ex-husband shoots current lover, once that had died down a bit, but this guy did take a shot and kill and hurt Piano Man, and only went to pre-jail for a year. Great. If you view the movie as a musical, you're going to be upset, because no, this is not even a serious musical. This is or a dramatic musical. No, this is not fun. As a real drama, an interpersonal drama with historical facts and a lot of music, absolutely, a really good movie. I think that, yes, It's one of those movie of the year kind of deals. But there is a lot of music in here, so be prepared to have a lot of a lot of tea on the side. It's not too long. I think it's like it's not too long. That's one thing. But there are a lot of songs, and they do the entire song. So yeah. Also, a reason why I think it's not really musical material is that there are too few production numbers. Very often, she just sings the song because she's standing in a nightclub and she just sings the song, because that's what Ruth used to do. So that's fair. The few movies that she did make, I think they did like she did like 2 movies. They did like 2 scenes from that, or 2 production moments from that. But yeah, when you make a movie, you end up a lot of time on the soundstage, which they also did that. I think this is fair. Yeah, the reason I think that what happened here went a little faster than she was aware, because she makes a friend of this Marty. He says, "Oh, I'll help you with this, that, and the other," and she says, "Thank you." And she didn't realize that he wants something very specifically back. She did realize, or maybe she didn't want to tell her. She didn't want to believe that. What she seems to be doing is trying to. I'm not sure what she had in mind, but she thought she could just be friends with this guy. And so she gets into this power dynamic without realizing, and the moment it is too late, that's when he starts to make demands. It's too late. She'd already taken too much of his handouts that at least she owes something, and the film does take that into account. I think in reality, he ended up with a whole bunch of money, and they do something else in the film. I'm not going to tell you because you watch the movie for that. But yes, there's a power dynamic problem because it is 1922 when it starts, you know. The women have no power at all. He has a lot of money and can help her get to where she wants to go, which is to be a singer.
So in a way, he's actually, because she seemed to not respond to the power dynamic as expected, he actually ended up putting a ring on her in order to get what the deal was.
Yes, and then still didn't work.
Yeah, no, it will never work. But that's interesting that he was serious. He didn't only want a fast girl on the side.
He did at first want the first fast girl on the side, and then he realized that this is not the kind of girl that is a fast girl on the side. So he puts a ring on it, which is fair of his, but her mistake is that she accepted the ring. She should not have accepted the ring or the previous 2. Even if she accepted the previous 2 gifts, which she also shouldn't have done, but you can make a mistake there. Don't accept a ring unless you're actually sure about being married. And she wanted her career more than she wanted anything else in this movie version. I mean, reality notwithstanding. I don't know about reality. But she wanted that career. And going with Marty made that happen. But I think she did do it in a non-calculating way. The problem with the film for me was that I think everybody is unlikable in this movie, except for maybe Piano Man. But Piano Man only likable because that the one time she says back off, he did actually back off. But yeah.
So do you think the power dynamic between men and women in the 20s was one of the reasons why she was passively going along with his structure? first accepting gifts and then, okay, I guess I'm supposed to marry this guy now. If she's never been taught how to stand her own ground, and he can get her career.
Yeah, I think definitely. Also, because that as a woman, you don't have any money. That all belongs to somebody else. Best case scenario is it belongs to somebody else. This is before the second feminist wave. It is after the first one, but only just. So it's one of those onwards and upwards kind of things. You hope that the next generation and the generation after that is doing better than this. Because this is not great. I do have to say that except for the daughter that is not in the movie, everybody became a good old age. So that is something. Because I looked it up. The daughter, no. Yeah. But she's not in the movie. I think that's maybe why she's not in the movie, because it's one more character and it's not going to add much. I loved it. I mean, in hindsight, the fact that I knew it was going to be uncomfortable, as such, I loved it. So, and that's my opinion, and I'm sticking to it.